Kalyan, automation to me are two things, simply put in English. A, making things that happening, let it happen in a way so that you don't have any intervention. And B, when there is a disruption, you notify it immediately to have a corrective action, right? In running a huge infrastructure, and I don't want to box your response on infrastructure only, so please feel free to move around application, infrastructure, whichever way you want to. But tell us, how do you see automation playing out in creation of a responsive supply chain? How do you see that happening?
See, automation has many, sorry, I keep doing that. Automation, especially when it comes to supply chain or even in a number of ways, even in a data center, for example, it's a mini supply chain in a way, the number of things that you do within a data center. And automation helps in many dimensions. One is people look at it as cost savings to some extent, which is correct. But I think more than that, it brings in a lot of efficiencies. And as Anupam said, it also helps you detect issues early on, especially when it comes to supply chain. If you take a semiconductor industry, for example, right, from going from a raw silicon wafer to a semiconductor chip that is going into a server or a phone or something like that, it's a 3 to 6 months process. So the earlier you detect through this, using this automation in the supply chain, the earlier you're going to save more costs and then probably repurpose that for something else, or you downgrade the quality of that product and then send it into a separate category where you still make money out of it and not let it go waste. Because if it goes all the way through the supply chain and it goes into the finished good, and then if you detect it's a problem, then there is very little you can do at that point in time. So the early detection is important, just like cure when you have a disease. Absolutely. Right. So that's where automation again comes in. The other thing is, I think with automation, with COVID, we have seen where, for example, in a data center, where similarly this could happen in a warehouse too, who is supplying mission critical goods like food or whatever. It's a very basic necessity for people in a pandemic, for example. Automation helps you drive your operations with minimal skeletal workforce. And of course, in the back end, it's cloud that's driving, and then somebody is sitting at their desk at home and managing, the operations where, instead of 200 people, only 20 people are operating the facility, and the rest is done through automation. And during things like pandemic, where people cannot go out in masses, automation helps in a big way. So technology in combination with a business process that will implement this automation, I think will yield a lot of good results.
So not to put you on a spot here, Kalyan, but if you have to predict top of your head percentage of the regular tasks that cloud would help automate, what would be a number that you have in mind out of 10?
I think in today's technology, the way it is, the combination of cloud plus the combination of AI and a lot of other IoTs and other technologies, I think 90% can be automated.
No, that's really encouraging.